Welcome to the Jim Gatchell Memorial Museum. Our museum is dedicated to preserving the history of Johnson County, Wyoming. It all started with a man who had a passion for collecting frontier artifacts. Although born in Wisconsin, Jim Gatchell grew up in Dakota Territory, where his playmates were Lakota boys, and he learned their language and culture. His respect for Native Americans remained a major part of his life. After moving to Buffalo in 1900, Gatchell opened his own drugstore and soda fountain. He married the lovely Ursula Sackett from nearby Bighorn, and they had 3 daughters, Thelma, Genevieve, and Claire. A 1901 visit to the Custer battlefield with former Army Scouts Frank Gruard and Curly the Crow ignited what would be a lifelong passion. Gatchell found a couple of artifacts, which he then displayed in his drugstore. Before long, neighbors and Indian friends contributed their heirlooms and artifacts to his collection, which grew to over 1,500 items. He had a story to go with each of them. The cigar-chewing Gatchell was a favorite character about town, with adults and children alike.
Race down there after school and go in, and he would know the ones that couldn't afford to buy an ice cream cone or something, and he would give them one. And he would tell stories about the different Indian artifacts that he had in there. And I think that's probably what I remember the most about him. He didn't know a stranger.
Well, it was in 1939 or 40. I don't remember the exact time. But we owed a druggist bill. Gatchell's drugstore is probably, I think in those days, it's about $400, something like that. But that was a lot of money at that time. So we sold some shares, and Dad went in to pay him, and he said, "Jim, I got the money for you." Jim says, a lot of people owe me money here, Elsie. And he says, "You've been good to pay when you can." He says, "Just forget the bill." And he wouldn't take anything. So that helped us out quite a bit. Soon after that, my mother died of cancer about that time. But we had quite a bill, getting medicine and stuff there. So I'll always remember that.
When Jim Gatchell passed away in 1954, his family gave his entire collection to Johnson County on the condition that a museum be built for his treasured artifacts. Over the decades, with the help of local residents, the collection has grown and evolved with the spirit of Jim Gatchell ever present. Jim Gatchell's museum now houses over 18,000 artifacts, from firearms and uniforms to wagons and buggies, as well as photographs and many articles that Jim Gatchell wrote for newspapers, magazines, and the State Historical Society's Annals of Wyoming. Visitors will begin with the natural history of the West, with rock, dinosaur, and animal displays, and then learn about Native American culture in Johnson County, with artifacts relating to the Northern Cheyenne, Lakota, Arapaho, Shoshone, and Crow. The next gallery pertains to John Bozeman's namesake trail that provided a shortcut to the Montana goldfields of the 1860s. Museum exhibits document the numerous battles between Indians and whites that earned the trail its nickname, the Bloody Bozeman. Learn about the Johnson County Cattle War and the impact that occurred among the ranchers, homesteaders, and the big cattle operations through exhibits such as the Go Devil diorama at the TA Ranch. Discover how the Basque arrived in Johnson County and how their culture continues today. Observe Jim Gatchell talking about his collection at the Gatchell Pharmacy exhibit. Get a glimpse of life as it was when Buffalo was a frontier town with cowboys, businessmen, soldiers, Indians, and Basque sheepherders. The Jim Gatchell Memorial Museum is interactive in many of the galleries and a treat for all ages. Our big bad wolf is here to greet you as you start your journey through the museum. We hope you enjoy your visit to the Jim Gatchell Memorial Museum. And while you're in Johnson County, take some time to experience the gorgeous scenery and the many historic attractions, as well as our charming town of Buffalo.